Let's be completely honest for a second. Have you ever logged into your banking app on a Friday morning, looked at your balance right after your paycheck hit, and thought, how much cash do I actually need to lock away so I never have to trade my time for a paycheck again? In America today, hitting a $100,000 yearly income is the ultimate milestone. It's the psychological zone where the survival stress turns off. You can easily handle a decent place to live, drive a reliable car, enjoy your weekends, and still stack money away. But if you search how to actually retire on that income, you run into a massive wall of confusing financial jargon, conflicting advice, and hidden traps. The truth is, there isn't one single magic retirement number. The amount of wealth you need to build depends entirely on the financial architecture you choose to build. Today, we are stripping away the confusion and breaking down the 4 distinct paths you can take to secure a permanent, inflation-proof $100K salary, moving from the absolute safest asset on earth to the most aggressive wealth accelerators, along with the exact, down-to-the-penny account balances required for each. Path number 1 is the ultimate defensive play, U.S. government bonds. Think of this strategy as becoming the ultimate landlord to the federal government. You are lending your hard-earned cash to Uncle Sam, and in return, they guarantee you a fixed interest payment. Right now, a 10-year Treasury bond yields around 4.3 to 4.5%. To generate a completely hands-off $100,000 every single year from pure government interest, your account needs to cross a staggering $2.3 million. Once that cash is parked, your principal is completely insulated from stock market crashes, housing bubbles, and economic recessions. The checks arrive like clockwork, but there is a brutal, hidden tax on absolute safety. It's called inflation. If the cost of groceries, rent, and fuel keeps rising at a standard rate, your $100K payout stays exactly the same, but its purchasing power gets incinerated. In 2 decades, that fixed income will feel like a tight $50,000 salary. Even worse, the IRS sets up a toll booth right in front of your bond payments, taxing that interest at your highest ordinary income bracket. To actually slide a clean, usable $100K into your pocket after the government takes its cut, your real target number is closer to $3 million. True safety is the most expensive luxury in finance. Path number 2 is the crown jewel of the passive income community, dividend growth investing. With this approach, you stop trying to predict stock charts. Instead, you buy equity in mature, cash-flowing global monopolies, think Apple, Coca-Cola, or Exxon, and you force them to distribute a portion of their corporate profits back to your bank account every single quarter. If you build a diversified portfolio using stable, high-yield dividend funds like SCHD, you can expect an average annual yield of about 3.5%. To generate a predictable $100,000 cash flow here, you need roughly $2.8 million invested. The major advantage this has over government bonds is growth. Great corporations historically increase their dividend payouts every year to outpace inflation, meaning your passive paycheck gets a raise every 12 months without you lifting a finger. But here is the catch. Dividend payouts are completely voluntary. When a massive economic crisis strikes, even the most legendary corporations will cut or freeze their distributions to protect their own survival. If your entire livelihood is tied to a few specific companies, your income can get stranded right when you need it most. Path number 3 is the exact system utilized by the modern financial independence movement, often called the FIRE community, total return investing. Instead of chasing specific dividend checks, you build a ghost portfolio using low-cost index funds that track the entire U.S. stock market like VOO or VTI. You aren't betting on individual companies, you are betting on human ingenuity and global commerce. This strategy relies on a bulletproof mathematical framework called the 4% rule. Originating from a famous wealth study, it proves that you can safely sell off exactly 4% of your total portfolio in year 1, Adjust that dollar amount upward for inflation every year after, and your money is statistically guaranteed to outlive you. To harvest a $100,000 income using this framework, your target number is exactly $2.5 million. This is incredibly effective because you aren't waiting around for corporate boards to declare dividends. You are actively capturing the massive innovation of the entire economy. If tech stocks boom, your portfolio surges, and you simply slice off a tiny fraction of your gains each year to fund your life. It is automated, unemotional, and highly scalable. Path number 4 is reserved exclusively for the individuals who want out of the 9-to-5 grind immediately, have decades on their side, and possess an iron stomach for volatility, the aggressive drawdown. Over the last century, the U.S. stock market has averaged a return of roughly 10% per year. If you don't have a family depending on you, and you can watch your net worth plunge 30% in a market correction without panicking or selling, you can push your luck with an aggressive 6% withdrawal rate. At a 6% withdrawal rate, your target number collapses dramatically. Suddenly, you only need $1.66 million to pull out your $100,000 annual salary. But do not underestimate the danger here. If you pull the trigger on early retirement, and the market immediately enters a brutal recession in your first 24 months, you are forced to liquidate your stocks at a massive discount. This is a phenomenon known as sequence of returns risk, and it can permanently drain your account before the market ever gets a chance to recover. You are flying a financial jet incredibly close to the ground. The secret to surviving the danger of an aggressive portfolio is a tool called the cash buffer. True wealth builders don't just stop at their investment number. They keep 2 years of basic living expenses sitting in a completely separate, boring, high-yield savings account. When the stock market tanks, you pull the emergency brake. You stop selling your stocks entirely, leave your investments alone to recover, and you survive by drawing down on your cash reserve. It's the ultimate financial insurance policy. At the end of the day, the velocity of your journey to financial freedom comes down to a variable most people completely ignore: your burn rate. If you optimize your lifestyle, pay off your high-interest debts, and realize you only need $60,000 a year to live an incredibly fulfilling, happy life, your required asset target instantly collapses from $2.5 million down to $1.5 million. You didn't have to work any harder, you didn't have to find a magic investment, and you didn't have to take more risk. You just bought yourself an extra decade of freedom by refusing to play the status game. The individuals who actually cross the finish line into the multi-millions aren't financial wizards, day traders, or crypto gamblers. They are just incredibly disciplined, boring people. They pick a strategy, automate their monthly investments, turn off the sensationalized financial news, and let compounding do the heavy lifting for 15 years straight. If this breakdown gave you a clear, data-driven target for your financial goals, smash that subscribe button. Leave a comment letting me know which of these 4 paths fits your personality, and I'll catch you in the next one.